All right, welcome everybody to the masterclass. And we've just got a few more people popping in. And if Candice, if you don't mind, if you can just keep letting them in.
I will.
Des jumping on. We've got Rose, we've got Renee, we've got Brad, we've got Arena. I don't think I've met, maybe I have. Des, we've got Michael and Amy. Really, really awesome to have you guys here. And it's even more exciting to share something that we're super passionate about. And the way to get the best out of this masterclass, and it's more the point, is I want to share with you a way to get the best out of yourself. And the way to get the best out of yourself is to start focusing on the bigger picture. Yeah. Start really stepping up into the perspective on who you need to be rather than what you need to do. I want you to think about that. Rather than what you need to do, who do you need to be? Because if we actually start to become everything that we say that we want to be, then it will inevitably happen. So who do you need to be right now to get the most out of this session? So I want to see cameras on. I want to see an active chat. So we're going to ask you guys lots of questions, and we want to see you responding to us and interacting with us. So the more you interact with me, the more likely I am to want to present more and give more information and give more and more away. And the exact same thing happens for Candice. The more you guys are active in there, I'm going to be on the chat for most of this. Candice is going to be presenting a lot of this because this is her baby. She absolutely loves what we're teaching tonight. She's been super excited to jump on, as have I. So cameras on, active chat, stay all the way to the end. Stay all the way to the end and ensure that you jump back on and watch the replay a little bit later. So can I just get a yes in the chat? That's me. I'm going to stay to the end. I'm here. I'm excited to learn. Some emojis, whatever you want. I want to see the chat already start to go off. It's Tara's yes, Rose yes, Susie yes, Tess from Susie. Is there anybody else? There's a few more people on. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Okay. So remember, who do you need to be right now here? And that is valuing your intention that you showed up for tonight. You could pay attention because that's what we were taught in school. But if you could actually value the intention that we've showed up for and that you guys are showing up for, then I think we're getting a whole lot more out of this lesson. All right, Candice, next slide.
Hey, amazing. Well, that's you. You're going to share our mission and why we actually do these things for free.
So there's something that we really hope to achieve with this masterclass, and it's for you guys to feel inspired. Like, actually, we want you to ask as many questions as you can in the chat. Renee's in, she's about to drive, but she's always in. And we want you to walk away with something that's actually actionable. Okay, we want you to leave this something that's actionable. And our mission is actually a little bit scarier now, because I had one of 100 businesses a year, and then we did our quarterly planning, and now it's 10,000 businesses in the next 5 years. So we've got a whole lot of fucking work to do, right, to impact businesses in a positive way. And what we're going to do the way we're going to start doing that is by giving away more and more of these free masterclasses and giving away more value, and as well as serving our clients who are in our high-end business coaching container. Some of them, the guys are already on the call. It's really awesome to have you here, and starting to serve more and more people moving into next year with events. All sorts of exciting things that happen. And the reason why we want to serve people that way is Candice and I come from two very different homes. Candice had a small business in her family that didn't get the greatest advice and didn't take the actions at the right time. And that caused that business to have some problems and cause some stress around the house. Whereas my parents got the right advice and ran a successful business. And I actually wanted for nothing as a boy and had a beautiful childhood with everything that I ever wanted. And I thank my parents both for that very much. So that led us to think, well, how can we impact in a world that way is true to us, in a way that's actually going to be touching something in our heart and something that we feel like is valuable to contribute. So this is our legacy and our impact, and we're really happy that you're all a part of it.
Okay, awesome. Let's jump straight in. We've got so much to cover, and we're going to get through as much as we possibly can. Facebook groups are a goldmine, and we want you guys to leave with some actionable steps and information that can literally be put into practice tonight if you're excited, or tomorrow morning to start creating more profit in your group. So why is having a Facebook group so important right now? The reach on a lot of Facebook pages, and it's been like this for a while, is about 1 to 3% for organic reach when you're putting a post out. Facebook has taken a massive dive in their profits. They're still a billion-dollar company, but they've lost a few billion and they're a little bit upset about. People haven't been doing as much paid ads. So they keep changing and manipulating the algorithm and making things a little bit more challenging to get organic growth on there. So they want people to be spending money because they've got shareholders that they need to answer to. So 1 to 3% is what a page will get. And that's why if you're running a Facebook page and you're doing posts on there, it pretty much asks you whether you want to boost the post as soon as you're about to do the post. So you can actually set up the boost before the post is done. And this is because they want you to spend money. So a tiny fraction of your followers will ever see your posts organically through a Facebook page. But when you have a highly engaged Facebook group, you'll have a lot more people seeing your posts and interacting with your content, which means where the eyeballs go, money flows. And cash and money in your business is oxygen. Without it, you will not survive. It's one of the main things that Tyler and I teach people initially, is to make sure that you have cash flow. And we do a lot of sales training initially in our business coaching because it's so crucial. It also is the difference between you having a business and a hobby or an idea that you're just talking about doing something. There's more than 1.4 billion people using Facebook groups on a monthly basis. And because of the rise in group usage, the platform has revealed several new features to make group posting and admin monitoring easier than it's ever been before. There are some amazing features in Facebook groups. We're going to cover a few of them tonight in the time that we have. There are more people using Facebook groups now than ever before. And when the platform rolls out new features, it is a sign that it's an area that they're planning to put more time and focus on. So a lot of the social media, our news sites that I follow are reporting this. There's going to be more coming, making it easier for admins and users to benefit. So Facebook has given us a bunch of really cool features. And as I said, we're going to be covering a couple of them because there's just too many to fit in one night. So the success of your Facebook group can be determined by the success of how you set it up. So Facebook has given these tools, and we're going to show you what ones we believe you should absolutely be using as a bare minimum. And it's the ones that we're going to show you will create more success. And Tyler's going to teach you a strategy as well to use with these tools to ensure that you can get more profit and more lead generation from your group. So I'm just wondering, before we start out, would you like one piece of wisdom that's going to help you 4x your lead generation? If you would like that, please type me in the chat. One piece of wisdom out of the University of California that will help you 4x your lead generation. This piece of wisdom has changed my life, and I've actually made it one of my favorite quotes that I refer to frequently. The University of California discovered in their research that every 4 minutes spent in preparation saves 1 minute in execution. So I use this in lots of areas of business and personal life. In the case of Facebook groups, every 4 minutes that you invest in setting this up and optimizing it, you will save 1 minute in hunting down leads and trying to sell them. So if you invest 240 minutes into setting up your Facebook group, which is 4 hours, and you set it up and you optimize it, you will buy back an hour of lead generation and sales processes. And once it's set up, the great news is that it's mostly automated. It's simply a process of going in and nurturing and having some ongoing growth strategies, which we're going to teach you tonight, that will make the lead generation really easy and enjoyable. Because I don't know about you guys, but that feeling that comes with, oh shit, I need more customers. It usually happens in businesses because they get busy and then they need to service the busyness and they drop off marketing or they drop off lead generation, and then all the servicing's happened. And then this is where cash flow problems come from in a business as well. So this is where Facebook groups become really, really awesome, because it does a lot of this for you behind the scenes. And if you create a good community, the community will support each other as well. So tonight we're going to share the 9 key points, what you need to focus on in your Facebook group. We're also going to share with you a brief strategy that has created a $147,500 launch for us. Are you excited to learn that? Cool. So first up, why micro communities are the way of the future. Now, for this, we're actually going to play a game, because doesn't this sound like the funnest game in the world? And our game show host tonight is our favorite Tyler Erickson. Let's give him a round of applause. Make him feel welcome, guys. Make him feel welcome. Excellent.
Thanks everybody for having me, and welcome to the newest game, the newest deliverable game in Facebook group world. It's called Pick the AI Picture. So I want everyone to grab a pen and paper, and I want you to write down the numbers that you think are fake photos, and the numbers that you think are the numbers that you think are real photos, and the numbers that you think are fake AI generated photos. And this is going to make a lot of sense later on. So roll up. Is everybody ready? You got your pen and paper or your notes open? And we're going to go through to the first section, and you got to write down the numbers, and you can put them in the chat as you like as well. So go, next slide. Pick the photos.
The AI generated photos. So if you think number 2 is an AI generated photo, just pop number 2 down on your piece of paper.
We're telling the difference. Have you changed the slide?
Not yet. You want me to change it?
Hey.
Oh, it's not. Is it not working?
Not yet.
Why is it not working? There we go.
So you got to write down which one is an AI generated photo. We've got Rose, the keen eye, the artist. We've got Tara checking it out. Which one is AI generated? Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's very interesting.
And some chickens and a pie. Is that a key lime pie? I love key lime pie. Beautiful dolphin.
Lime pie.
All right.
Some crumbs on the side of the plate there. Very authentic.
Let's go to the next one. All right. You've got old man writing on a piece of paper. Some looks like a barley night out. Both of them look like a barley night out. Pick the AI generated photo.
Maybe none of them are AI.
Maybe. I don't know. Everybody's good? All right, let's go to the next one. Yeah. Pick the AI generated photo. 9, 10, 11, 12.
The 12 is real.
12 definitely real. That's my body.
You got more muscles than that.
I'll keep eating rice and chicken. Okay, so once you've done that, what I want you to do is write down the numbers in the chat, pop them in the chat of the numbers that you think were AI generated photos. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Write them in the chat. Which ones do you think were AI generated? 3, 7, and 9. Great. Who else have we got? 2, 6, 11, and 12. Perfect. 2, 4, 7. Wow. I have no idea. 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 2, 5, 10.
Oh, we've got some keen eyes.
3, 6, 10. Yeah, definitely. So here's the fun fact.
You ready?
They're actually all AI generated photos. Every single one of them, except for the one with my head. That's just some keen photoshopping from Candice. So there's a really big lesson in this, and it seems like just a little bit of fun. We went through some photos, we picked them, and it's whatever. And the big lesson in this is the importance of showing people what's real and what's not real, because people are going to start to become skeptical soon. ChatGPT 4 coming out, the world's changing very fast. We're in a moment in time that's faster in technology than ever, and now machine learning is actually going to speed it up again. And that's the speed that technology moves and increases every second, okay? So people are going to become more scarcity, and trust and authenticity, and I want you to write this down, trust and authenticity has become a business currency. Now, I want you to consider that. This is why micro communities are going to be the thing of the future, and they've already started to move in as technology get more and more. But if you just move over to the next slide, Candice, these photos actually aren't AI generated. And you'll be able to see.
Hang on, it's catching up.
No, they are as well. So that's the Pope, and it looks exactly like him. And this caused a massive, massive turmoil in the papers. It was all over the place if you read the news. So go to the next slide. So the fake Pope is in a puffer jacket. Pick raises worries about AI. The people are already, the tabloids are already starting to present this stuff because they put him in a puffer jacket, which is in the UK, it's a normal gangster sort of wear. It's the trendy people wear that puffer jacket with a little puffy hood. And that image went all over the internet, and people are going to start, first thing they're going to do is start freaking out. Candice is going to talk to you a little bit about more why later, but I want you to start considering, if you're a business owner, this is something that if you get ahead of everybody else in creating trust and authenticity as your highest business currency, then you will be ahead of everybody else who's thinking that you just use AI to get your business ahead. Because it's going to have to be a bit of both. You want to save the time, but if you get rid of the authenticity, eventually people are going to seek out and pay more for real. Does that make sense? It's only a matter of time. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, cool. I just want to show you guys, this is a scale of innovation adoption. So this has been happening. It's actually human psychology and biology that makes this work. So it's been happening since the dawn of time when new technology or things come out. So the good news is that when it comes to this AI and changing the landscape of business and communication, where this red arrow is right here, excuse me, we're at the very early percentages of the early adopters. So the AI technology has been in this 2.5%, the innovators range, for at least 5 years in the background. So it feels like all of a sudden, since November last year when ChatGPT was released, it feels like there's so much AI available, and there is, because now the first person has gone, all of these other platforms can also use that technology, and they're creating some really phenomenal tools, which is going to make business easy. However, it is going to affect what Tyler just mentioned, that authenticity, that realness, people wondering who they're actually connecting with, what they're buying, whether something's legitimate, whether something's a scam. So we're at the very early stages. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of an example, the early majority here, which is 34%, Facebook and LinkedIn are very close to shifting to late majority. So Facebook sits right here amongst the middle line here, and LinkedIn's just behind it. That's how long those have been around for. Other platforms like YouTube sit about here. It's been around for a while, though it's not really used and adopted by a lot of people. They've been doing a lot of work on that the last few years. And Snapchat sits in, platforms like Snapchat sit here as well. The late majority is things like Gmail and WordPress and blogs and technology like iPods. They've been around for quite some time now. In fact, most of the 2000s. The laggards, I think it's pronounced, the last 16%. So this is when technology has been around so long, it's been innovated. These early adopters are the ones that they don't care if the flat screen TV is $20,000. They actually have to be the first person to grab it. I'm sure you've heard stories like this in the past. Someone always buys that really expensive brand new tech. They go first. And then it becomes a little bit cheaper and it changes and everybody else starts to adopt it. Then it phases out. So what would be phasing out for a lot of people is things like TV. Some people are just streaming shows now on their laptops. CDs would be in this category, fax machines, email in general, and radio. So the good news is that there's still time. It's very early days. And the reason that we're teaching about Facebook groups right now is because for the rest of this year, there is still an amazing opportunity to build a community and a network for yourself that's yours and create heaps of rapport and nurturing before this is going to move quick now. So it took 5 years here. It's not going to take that long to move here into the early majority. It's going to move really, really quick. There are a bunch of university students which are super thrilled that things like ChatGPT exist. So I want you to just have a little break in your mind. Have a sip of water if you want. You can stand up and have a stretch before we get into the next part of what we're doing.
The interesting fact about having a small 10-second break where we're not focusing on the attention and we're just sitting in silence is, we spoke about this before, but your brain actually right now is resting and playing in reverse 4x everything that you just learnt and allowing it to allocate itself in your unconscious mind so it can be utilized later. So having a little break every now and then is actually really valuable. It's scientifically proven that even in schools, we should be giving every 10 to 15 minutes having a 30-second to a 60-second break. Okay.
Cool. So we've got, there's a few more steps than 9 steps to create a highly profitable converting Facebook group, but we're going to share the 9 most important ones for you. The remaining steps after that go more into technicalities of strategy and the type of business that you're running. So the 9 steps to what we believe is the greatest lead magnet of all time. What makes a lead magnet great? Well, you spend some time setting it up and then it just works for you. It does what a magnet's meant to do and it attracts people into it. What else makes a lead magnet great is the features that you've got where you don't have to continually work all the time. So things like a click funnel are really popular. You put your email address in and then you'd have a nurture sequence of emails that go out. We're going to show you some of these things in a Facebook group capacity. So the very first step is having a specific group name. So Facebook does work like a search engine. And with a specific group name that speaks to what you do, it's going to be really easy for people to find you. If you've never searched for things on Facebook before, I recommend you do it after this class. Search for your main service or product that you sell, and then put your suburb after it and see what comes up as the start of your research. You might be surprised at what Facebook spits out. So have a name that's not too general. If it's too general, so I can see Rose there at the top of my screen. If it's too general, like Art Australia, because Rose is an artist, you might have lots of people join your group, but you'll have a hard time in getting clients from them. Sorry, I'm all clogged up. So you have a hard time in getting clients from them. And that's not what you want. We've worked with a group in the UK, Tyler and I, that have got 5 million followers. Seems like they should be millionaires. They've made it too general. They grew the group with funny memes and jokes, and now they're trying to profit the group, and they're having a really hard time doing so. It's going to take them about a year to convert those people into buying clients. Okay, so don't keep it too general. Be specific, but not so specific that you're canceling people out. Okay, number 2, a clear group description. There's an area at the start of your group where people actually get to see this as they're going through the joining. So it explains exactly who the group is for, what they can expect from it. The group description is an easy way to promote you and your business without being too salesy. And it's going to repel anybody who might not be worth having in the group as well. So it's important to convey the detail about what your group is about. Number 3, have a group cover photo. And these are really easy to do up in Canva. I know this seems like basic stuff. There's a lot of groups out there that haven't done this. Okay, so have a group cover photo that's got a picture of you and the name of the group as well, your title. If you've got a website URL, use your branding colors, put a little bit of information in there. If you've won awards, if you've had articles published in media, if you are an author, whatever it is that makes you look exciting and shows the credibility of who you are and what you do. You've got about 3 seconds for someone to form an opinion in the reptilian part of their brain. And the reptilian part of the brain is there to determine whether something is a threat or not. So you want it to be welcoming. Have a nice photo of yourself, you know, look friendly, represent, like, again, I can just see Rose here. It's because I only see a couple of faces when we're sharing screens, but, you know, maybe have a picture of your art as the background, or you painting, and then, or you in front of the art, like have something that represents what you do. If you were a dog groomer, have a picture of your business, or it's whatever it is that you do. Number 4, you want to use the membership screening questions in a very intelligent way of doing market research. So don't just ask for somebody's email address when they're joining your group. If you're asking for an email address, make sure you've got some hot as shit free content for them that you're going to share with them when you get that email address. And when I say hot as shit, you should feel like you're charging for it. Okay, it's not easy to get email addresses much anymore. And if you've got this as a requirement that you have to have an email address for somebody to join your group, you're going to repel a lot of people because they don't know you yet. That can come later. So use it for market research. So one of the questions that you should ask is something to do with what your product or service is. And an example of that is, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to? What is your biggest challenge when it comes to whatever your group is about? If it's parenting, if it's anxiety, if it's photography, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to taking photos of yourself, or whatever? The answers to this question will give you really valuable insights into the biggest struggles of your potential clients. And this is something else that Tyler and I spend a lot of time teaching, is getting into the psyche of your client avatar. It's so important, because people are out there with problems that you can solve with products and services. But if you don't know exactly what their problem is and how the problem is working in their mind, it's going to be really hard to market to them and get their attention. So get this as research at the beginning of the group. You might have a couple of questions there. You just want to filter what's going on for people. Number 5, you can grow your email list within your group. And you do this by having regular opportunities for members of the group to get on your email list. So we're going to give you some free resources if you want them at the end of this masterclass. One of them, which I'm giving away, and I wasn't expecting to give away until 10 minutes before this masterclass, but I was sitting here thinking, how can you all get the most value? So one of the extras I'm going to give away tonight is our list of high value content offer ideas. We usually only share this with our coaching container. So I'm going to give that to you so that you can go through and pick one a month if you want to. I think there's about 40 or 50 of them on there. They all won't be relevant to your business, but pick ones that are and go, okay, cool. This week, I want to add emails to my email list. I'm going to use this high value content offer. And for people to have this, they've got to give me my email, give us their email address so that we can email it to them. So you can get that by offering really great free resources in your group. Number 6, have a welcome video pinned to the top of your group. Now, just like your cover photo, if somebody is attracted to your cover photo and they're starting to feel like, cool, okay, this group is going to answer some of my questions, I'm going to get value here, the next thing that you want is to have a pinned video right at the top of the group, which just is 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, and it describes to people what they're going to get from the group. Okay, so you want to let them know things like, if you host regular live streams in there, do you have guests come in and talk about things? Do you give away free information like this through masterclasses? Do you provide recipes if you do nutrition and fitness? Do you have challenges? Like, just include all of the really cool stuff. And if you feel excited about it, then they're probably going to feel excited about it and they're actually going to want to stay. So this is all the beginning steps of building rapport. Number 7, do live streams in the group. Absolutely. You can. There are so many options with live streams. You can do one-off ones yourself. You can even script them if you want to script them with a prompter so that it's all clean and tidy and nice. You can be loose as hell if you want to, if that's how you interact with your clients. You can have guests on, so other specialists in what you do, people from other countries that maybe do what you do. You can have past clients come on and do live streams with you and ask them specific questions. So interview them about things that they experienced when working with you, things that you want others to know. You can get really crafty, and with those initial joining questions, if people are talking about a common problem that they have and maybe you haven't thought about it, do a live stream on those. And if you have helped clients in the past with those problems that new clients are having, interview your past clients. What was life like before you worked with me or before you bought this product? What's life like now? Live video is such a great way to get interaction with your members, because you'll get a notification come through that somebody's going live in the group and you're more inclined to catch them. Number 8, share how members can take the next step in working with you. So this is it's almost like an intuitive balance. You don't want to do this too much. You don't want to be in there constantly plugging, hey, we're buy. You want to be sharing enough high value content in your group. And if you're not sure what that is or how to do it, go and have a look at the Profits and Impact community group that Tyler and I have. Sometimes we have a couple of weeks break from sharing things. Sometimes we're in there hard, sharing a lot of stuff and building excitement and momentum. So talk about how people can work with you, but not in everything. Okay. You could ask members to invite other people that they know to the group. So we do a business group. Do you know any other business owners that might benefit from being in here? Please share it. Have promotional offers whenever you launch a new program, or inviting them to join something that you're doing. Share there how people can work with you. And number 9, make sure you're sharing about your group on social media and emails to continue to grow it every month. So this is really simple. Like, you can do a live stream in the group and share that to your personal Facebook page, or a live stream in the group and share that to your business Facebook page. Or you can just do a post in the group, or you can screenshot things from the group. If you're getting a lot of great interaction in there, which we all want you to have, screenshot those interactions and share them to your stories or share them to your personal pages so that you're promoting the group. Okay. Is there anything I have missed in the chat, Tyler?
No, chat's all good. We're good to move on to the next bit.
Okay, amazing.
All right. So sometimes when we learn something new, because we're like some really cool words like micro communities and how to leverage Facebooks to make you money, it sounds really cool. And a lot of what we've said here tonight seems pretty straightforward, right? Yeah. The thing is we notice a lot of people aren't doing it. And we notice that a lot of people are thinking, oh, my group isn't big enough, or people aren't going to like what I have to say, or et cetera, et cetera. But I want you to know that you're all brilliant. Every single person that I've ever met in my entire life has a spark within them that is valuable and should be shared. And I believe that about every single one of you. So a Facebook group is a way for you to become a leader. Leaders that are appointed often don't last very long. A Facebook group or a micro community inside a social media platform is actually going to give you the ability to be able to be chosen as a leader in your space or in your field. And that little spark that you have within you that I know is there because everybody has it can start to get a little bit bigger. So you can start shining your light on whatever impact or whatever you want to offer the world. And so you can also make a fuckload of money along the way. So if that seems like it's something that's interested for you, I want you to know that your unconscious mind is always listening. So right now say, yes, that's me. I want to make a difference and I want to make a lot of money. Put it in the chat. Okay. Knowledge moves in an ever expanding upward spiral. That's why it happens to everybody. I work with people that are worth millions of dollars and I work with people that are just getting started out. There's not enough yes me's in there. That's a really fucking valuable thing to tell your unconscious mind. Yes, I want to light my spark and I want to make some money. Say it 5 times if you have to. It's actually worth getting the repetitive nature inside your head that you want to be successful. So fuck it, while we're here, right, I am successful in the chat as well, because you all are at something and you all have potential. This upward expanding spiral of knowledge I've witnessed within myself, and it feels like, fuck, when I finally figure something out, there's like 100 more things I need to know, because on each one of those little ladders, as you step up, you can look up on the next ladder above and realize that there's more for you. And I implore you to all get excited about that. And I actually implore you to take that brilliance you have within you and realize that there are people out there who want what you have undeniably, and they don't know how to get it. So if you want to stay on path, a Facebook group and doing what you always, staying on mission and doing what you say you're going to do and being a part of a direction and being a part of a group of people and talking about what it is that you make money from and what you love continuously all the time, whether that's sporadically or in a regimented order, like Candice said, is going to make you build that spark bigger. And that spark will attract more money. Yes, I want that. I'm successful. I can make a difference in people's lives and make a lot of money. You can. Okay? I'm making $1 million. Do it. All right. Let's move on to the next slide.
Our little photo that we had here is gone, Tyler.
The little man, he's back on mine at the.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, after the dogs.
Oh, hang on.
Everybody's seen this photo. It's just a really cool photo.
Oh,
See it?
got it.
You have no idea how true this is. There's people out there right now that are doing exactly what you're doing, all of you, that don't give a fuck about the people they're serving or the product they're offering, and they're just making money, and they've appointed themselves a leader in an industry, and you're letting it happen. Maybe you're not, but I'm just calling everybody out because I think it's really important to be passionate about what you're offering. Whereas if you lead from the front and you start to empower a group of people truly with what you believe in, then people will follow you. They're waiting for it. It's a small percentage of the population are natural born leaders. And I actually believe that that's only because that percentage have taken the chance to put themselves out there. With a micro community, you can start a movement. My favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes, never underestimate a small group of people to change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. That's a pretty good thing to get behind. Okay, we can get away from my cool picture now. I made Candice look for that for a half hour.
No, that's pretty much all the pictures that we have, Tyler. So would you like to share the strategy?
Yeah, cool. Where is that on my slides?
It's with this guy, the boss and the leader guy.
Cool. How do you expect to fall in love with what you like? This is what we were just talking about. What do you do unless you do it all the time? So you have, and we've spoken about being on mission with your Facebook. And the points that I want you to cover is the steps in your social media strategy that are missing. And how can you actually now take that passion within you and convert your followers into clients and grow your audience to generate cash? these 9 steps that were followed are really valuable, but the one thing that people are missing is nurture. Yeah. So often what I see is I can't get clients. Yeah. And if we go ahead and create your Facebook group and your social media as a perfect business card, and you then put that up there, has anyone ever put your hand up or put yes in the chat if you've ever been handed a business card or a pamphlet by someone walking past in the street and they say, do you want one of these? Yeah. What do you do with it? You put it in the bin. It's pretty much what you do with it. So the strategy that we want you guys to actually start implementing is, how can I be a leader today? What happens before I bring somebody into my Facebook group? Who do I need to be for somebody to choose me to offer them a product or guide them through an emotional experience? And whilst you are offering your service in the long run, what you give away at the start will create the reciprocity in the future. So the strategy that we use is this 9 steps to create a lead magnet of all time. That's the Facebook group. Reaching out to people, yeah, commenting on social media influencers in your niche's posts. Yeah, anybody who's written comments on there that are on the same level or below you in their awareness around the topic or the product, liking, adding them as a friend, liking them and say, hey, I noticed you followed the same influencer as me. What do you think about this? Build some rapport. After you build some rapport with that person, then, hey, I've got this Facebook group. Would you like to come and check it out? When they get to your Facebook group, what happens psychologically is the reptilian brain, and this is where your reels come in. And Susie said, are reels valuable? Yes, they are valuable. Because what we want to do is we want to get somebody with the reptilian brain, which is part of our biology and the way we think, to want to engage with us so it feels safe. And the way you can do that is through reels, through reaching out to social media influencers in your niche, liking, commenting, adding them into your thing, and just getting somebody aware of who you are. Awareness is so important. Is that making sense? Yeah. Has anybody ever jumped into a sale without even asking a little bit of awareness around someone and then got halfway through the sales process and went, this person knows nothing about me and I'm spending a lot of fucking time building rapport. And then you get halfway through or towards the end of the sales process or through the messages and it just fizzled out. Because if you over deliver too fast, then it gets confusing. Okay. So we want to activate the reptilian brain by creating awareness. And that is through those 9 steps and having it safe and in a procedure on your Facebook group, but then reaching out to people and activating the reptilian brain straight up and then going, oh, that's familiar, that's kind, that's nice, I feel safe. And that's what we call building rapport. The next thing that you want to do straight after that to bring somebody into your community and potentially make them a buyer, because let's face facts, that's what the fuck this is all about. It's about your business being successful. It would be nice to run a Facebook group and just nurture people and give them loads of free content. But eventually you want to get to that point where they're buying your product and getting a result that is undeniable to what they thought was possible. Taking somebody from where they are to outside what they think is possible is what all business should be doing with across the board. That's my belief. You can buy into that or not. Once you get them aware of you, the mammalian brain will kick in. The mammalian brain will then go, tribe, is this something that, can I look up to these people? Will these people serve me? Do they have my back? Yeah, so all of you guys that are on this screen right now, I'm looking at you guys and I'm like, I'm actually thinking the whole time, imagine if everybody in this group supported each other wholeheartedly through everything, with every process, and they only interacted with each other's services. Imagine what that would create in a micro community. Hey, I've got this product. Hey, Rose is an artist. Someone's buying a new house. They only buy art from Rose. And then you have a community like this on the side that's connected to all these other communities of conscious people who actually give a fuck about the results and what people are getting, and they care about quality. It would be amazing. So activating that mammalian brain or that tribe brain is the next step. And what it creates is the mere exposure effect. And the mere exposure effect, we've talked about it before. The mere exposure effect is what Mark Zuckerberg used to create Facebook in the first place. And it's like, if you keep getting aware of something, eventually you're going to go, okay, cool, that's safe. That's me. That's who I am. That's how people can be so easily actually manipulated. So thought leaders in the world have to be aware that if you truly care about people, that if you're not doing these processes and using the mere exposure effect for what you believe in, then somebody else is, and you don't know whether they care or not. You've got no idea who's doing it. So everybody has a responsibility to show up and help the people around them. Do you all believe that? I don't know. That's something that I truly believe, that we should care about the people that we're serving and just genuinely care about people.
So the mere exposure effect as well, I just wanted to add in that as of 2020, it took 20 points of contact. So it's probably a little bit more now because everybody was driven to things like online shopping during COVID days, and ads were booming. So I would estimate that there's probably between 20 and 25 points of exposure that one person needs to have with you before you and your product or your service becomes familiar, before they're actually, as Tyler said, kicking into that mammalian brain, that tribe mentality where it's like, oh, okay, I support this. Because if I asked you all right now, what is the first fast food chain that comes to mind, you'd probably all have a very similar answer.
Type your answer in the chat and we'll see. And while you're at it, when I say soft drink, it's the first thing that comes into your mind. Cool.
Yeah.
It's not an accident.
It doesn't matter what group we're speaking to, it's the same answers every time. Usually McDonald's and usually Coca-Cola. McDonald's is a real estate business.
Yeah. And if you're weird like me, you might write Red Rooster, but I'm weird. I'm one of the fringes.
So this is just another reason why Facebook groups are so great, because you get them in, they're more likely to see your content pop up in their news feed, and they're yours. They're yours then. They're not the Facebook communities and not anybody else's community. You are the leader of that pack, and you have got more opportunity to get them familiar, mere exposure effect, familiar marketing. So just get them familiar with you by purely just putting content in there that you should all be doing in your businesses anyway. You should all have content regularly going out in your businesses.
So once you have this Facebook group, it's as simple as sometimes as asking questions. So when we're nurturing the mammalian brain, we want people to be activated and we want people to be like going, hey, that's me, I'm the same as you, and we're building that tribe effect. Okay, does that make sense? So if you're building a tribe, it's asking simple questions. It's getting clear on the niche and seeing what people are responding to your stuff. You could literally just put 3 posts a week in there, which are a simple question, and you will start to gain momentum, because the mere exposure effect, or that 20 touch points, will eventually build up. And we've seen it in our groups, and I've seen it in other Facebook groups with customers we've worked with, clients we've worked with, where it's like, nobody's doing anything. I'm not getting any traction. I'm like, just keep going. And if you keep going in there, eventually it'll just explode. And then you will monetize that group when they're ready, because it's not about when you're ready. It's about when they're ready, right? But you have the power to get them ready. So the mere exposure effect, knowing your client. And once again, I want to say this. How do you expect to fall in love with what you do unless you hold it so passionately within yourself and you do it all the time? You've heard about being on mission. A Facebook group is a great way to never leave the path. Okay? So the steps in your social media strategy that are missing are most likely you're not posting enough, or you're not talking to people to be chosen as a leader to prepare your people to buy from you. You're the one who's in control. And if you truly think that your product, whether it's a service or a product, is valuable and can change people's lives, then you actually have a duty to do this. Otherwise, cancel your ABN. Sell all your shit, pack it up, and go back to fucking work. because you won't last. Okay.
I want to share one more quick strategy with you all. So what you can do is, as Tyler said earlier, these 9 points are basic. And the thing is, not many people are doing them. Common sense isn't so common. So there are, as we said in the beginning, more than 1.4 million Facebook groups. So you can go into other groups. I do this all the time. I'm a proud member of Breastfeeding Mums Australia. I've never had to breastfeed in my life. I am a part of lawn porn. Why am I in these groups? Because I'm looking for people that are potential clients. So you can go to these groups and you can see who the group owner is very easily. See who's responding to their posts. Is anybody responding to their posts? Are people posting questions in the group and not getting answered? A lot of groups are completely 100% missing that nurturing aspect. So I go and I handpick them out of groups. I go into all sorts of, we do business training. I go into all sorts of business groups, networking groups, and I'm looking for those people that have been posting things and they either haven't got what I would suggest is a decent answer or they haven't got an answer at all. It's everywhere. It's so, so easy. I just send them a private message. Like, hey, we're a part of the same group. You know, would you like to come over and check out my group? It's really, really easy.
We say that they're easy 9 points, but we see probably 0.1% of people that we go into groups actually achieving all of those 9 strategies to find the success.
And treating it as the professional tool it is.
It actually is a professional tool. And like Candice said, they're adding features. And Facebook only spend money where there's money. They want to keep people engaged. So they've seen Facebook groups trending up. Just all making sense? Can you see how to be valuable if you just spent all day tomorrow on your Facebook, getting it up to standard, getting a Canva thing, get everything printed, and then start adding people into it? Do you see the value in that? And then if you spent an hour on that 5 days a week, the amount of impact that you could make on your business would actually be phenomenal. I don't even think you know how valuable it is. This is where I find it tricky at the moment, knowing ones that you can post things into without getting suspended. Is there a way you can tell this? Yes, you get suspended and then you find another group.
Some groups actually, when you're adding yourself into the group, or even if you're already in there, you can see the group rules really easily. I won't show you guys now on this call. If you can't find it, reach out after the class. It's really easy to find. You can see the group rules. You're not necessarily going in there to promote. Okay. So I have worked with a lady in the past who was a relationship coach, and what she would do, she had a breakup program. So even though she was relationship coaching, she liked to work with the women who were going through a breakup and had lost themselves a little bit. So she would go into lots and lots of other groups, like female business groups. So things that are a little bit the same but different, right? And she knew that her clients were in there. And she would post in there a real generic post of, hey, I've just written a guide to cutting energy with your ex. Write below, comment below, message me if you want it. She would get hundreds and hundreds of comments because she knew at the time that when somebody was trying to really get over their ex, it still felt like there was some kind of attachment or some kind of cord or something that they just couldn't let go of. So she used specific language suited to her client, and she would go into same but different groups. So she wasn't going into relationship groups. She was going into business communities mostly and friend networking groups and posting it in there. She grew her group by 4,000 members in the space of 3 months doing that specific strategy.
And the reason being because she was being active, she was putting herself first, she was getting out there. And like we said, if you're upsetting people, you're not playing safe. Because if you play safe in business, you will just get safe. So if you're out there and you're not sure which ones to post in or comment in, message the person, push the limits a little bit. Yeah, start to actually stretch yourself. If it feels uncomfortable or like you feel like you're going to be doing the wrong thing by the person, ask the person who owns the group if it's okay. Just send them a message and go, hey, I just want to post that in there. It's your group. Is this fine? You're going to start pushing yourself outside the common things of what you feel is right or wrong, and actually start talking to people. Yeah, if like I've said this before on other masterclasses, if we don't get shadow banned at least 2 or 3 times a year, then we're not doing enough work. Like, they shut my messages down because we need to be out there reaching, because we do want to impact those 10,000 businesses. And I can't let my feelings get in the way of that. Does that make sense?
Facebook group members at the moment are almost greater currency than emails, because a lot of people, one of the first things that they do when they wake up is they check their social media accounts. Most of society do. If you've got a Facebook group with even 500 members in there, and you're going to launch a product or a service or a package or a sale or promotion, whatever it is in your business, the conversion rates at the moment are between, depending on how connected you are with your group, about 1 to 3% into sales, easy sales.
So you don't need millions or hundreds of thousands or even thousands. You need raving fans, and you need people that are engaged with you and following. It's people in there that shouldn't be in there. We do this all the time. Like, I literally go through and delete people out of the Facebook group because they're not business owners, or they're not going to become business owners, or that they're not the right ideal client. I remove them out of there. So our number stays low, but I know that everybody we're engaging with is super valuable and is going to experience the content in a way that's going to be conducive for their growth. If it's just going to swamp them, or they're just in there just because they want to be in a group, there's no point. So you're better off to have, like, if you had 20 people and you're a coach and all 20 bought at 2 to 5 grand, whatever your package is, that's great. Does this make sense? It's actually about engaging the right people, and a Facebook group is a way to do that. And another thing we strongly suggest is to go through and check everybody and clean out anybody that's not supposed to be in there regularly, like every couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Okay, so that brings us to the end, and we've still got people joining, which is really interesting. You can catch our last 60 seconds of gold. So as we mentioned at the beginning, we've got free resources for you guys. Please just type in the chat, because we don't want to bombard people that don't want them. If you want the free resources, type free resources in the chat so that the team can get them to you. It includes the Facebook audit checklist, the high value content offer cheat sheet that I mentioned before. This is kind of what they look like, or is what they look like, but just a part of them. So yeah, just type free resources in the chat if you want them. And if you're watching the replay, put it in the comments as well.
Free resources. Say it.
Yay. Free resources.
I don't understand. Oh, there's lots more than I thought. That's great. We'll send those through to you guys soon. I'm going to screen. Oh no, messed it up. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. Remember, implementing. We can give the same information to 2 people. One person will make $1 million and the other person will go broke. It's up to you to implement. And it's something as simple as those 9 steps, and using those free resources and starting to market yourself and starting to nurture a community is the next step for you if you're not already doing it. Okay, so can I get a thumbs up and a yes, I will? I'm going to implement in the chat.
We've just got a question here I want to answer from Des as well before we head off, so you know.
Where is it? Oh.
Des, yeah, if you've already got a group, and this goes for everybody, if you've already got a group, absolutely, if it's unless it's something completely different. So I mean, you're going from promoting weddings to car mechanics. I would just work with what you've got. Okay, so definitely just revamp what you've got, make some changes. You won't have the benefit of asking those initial questions when people come in, but you can ask them as polls in the group themselves. So just doing posts in there. Just ask, like, what's your biggest challenge with whatever it is? So definitely utilize those numbers. We're about to delete a group. We've got another group which we started less than a year ago, and we've moved away from it because we didn't have a tight control over it when we began. So there's a lot of people in there that, as Tyler said, like he's constantly culling the group. Like some days I notice 50 people just disappear from our group because the numbers go down, and Tyler's been in there, nut. So we treat this group like absolute gold. There's only people in there that we really want in there in our community. Our other group, we didn't have that tight control over. So we're just actually going to delete it and walk away from it. But if you can revamp what you've got, I highly recommend just doing that. Save you a lot of time searching for new leads.
All right, guys, you're all amazing. You're all awesome. Go out there and smash it. Do what you need to do. If you've got any questions, ask them in the group. We're going to put the replay up later on. Like I said, I actually genuinely think that everybody's incredible. That includes every single one of you. So please, please, please get out there and make this happen. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you on our next masterclass. Keep an eye out for it.